If you're an entrepreneur that wants to learn how to run hyper-profitable TikTok ads, then this is the video for you. As the title says, this is going to be the last guide you ever need to run profitable TikTok ads. I've managed over $3 million in ad spend on TikTok for my clients, so everything you're going to see here is a tried and tested method. I've tried to make this video as accessible as possible, so even if you've never run ads, there will be explanations for you, but if you're transferring knowledge, the pace should still be high enough that you can watch this at standard speed. Check down in the description for timestamps if you want to skip ahead to a particular section. As a bonus, if you want to learn how to set up retargeting ads to increase your return on ad spend, I've added that as a bonus at the end of the video, so stick around. Let's get started. The first thing you're going to need to do is to set up an ad account. To do that, click the link that I've added down below in the description, sign up and create your ad account. Now, one thing to bear in mind is that the location in which you set up your ad account is going to affect where you target. So for example, Canada cannot target the European Union and the UK, whereas another region may be able to. This can be quite complicated and unintuitive, so check before you create your ad account whether you can target ads to the region you wish. If you're a business that's looking to run ads internationally to areas that you can't by default run from an ad account in your region, I'd highly recommend working with an ad agency. We're able to create accounts that can target any region in the world. Now you're going to be taken to the account setup screen. This is important, so fill out the information about your business as this is going to be used for invoicing. Now we're going to move into the pixel install and tracking section of this video. If you're familiar with other ad platforms, you're going to understand pixels. A pixel is a small snippet of code installed on your website that can track and identify the people using it. Pixels are used to track the results of your ad campaign, retarget customers, and optimize your ads so that you can get a better return on ads. To install your pixel, you're going to want to go to your TikTok ads dashboard, hover over the Assets button, and then click Events. Now click Manage under the Website Pixels section. And finally, click Create Pixel. Now it's time to name your pixel. This can be anything. I recommend your website name. You're going to be asked whether you want to install the pixel with code or to use a third-party integration. Now, most people watching this video are likely running e-commerce businesses on Shopify, in which case you're going to want to use the third-party integration option. If you have the Google Tag Manager installed on your website, it's also going to make sense to use that as a third-party integration. If you have a custom-coded website, you're going to want to use the manual install. Now, that's outside the scope of this video, so I'll leave a link on how to do that down below. To set up on a Shopify store, click Third Party, then select Shopify. Now what you're going to need to do is go onto the Shopify App Store in your Shopify store, download the TikTok extension and log in with your TikTok account details. And this is going to sync the pixel to your TikTok ad account. Congratulations, you've successfully installed the pixel on your website. Now to test that the pixel has been set up correctly and is tracking data, TikTok have made a Chrome extension. So open the link down in the description, install it into Chrome and navigate to your website. You should see the extension appear with a little number next to it. This indicates that an event has been triggered. If you click on it, you should see any actions being recorded. This is most likely just a page view action. If you go onto one of your product pages and click Add to Cart and then check the pixel, you should see that there are multiple actions recorded. This is not only how we know how much our ads are making, but also who is purchasing, so we can then go in later on and optimize our ads. While we're talking about your website, you'll be pleased to know you do not need a dedicated landing page for use with TikTok ads. If you're promoting a specific product, I recommend linking to the product page. If you're promoting a collection like your men's clothing collection, I recommend linking directly to that. This helps shorten the funnel and increases your conversion rate. The one thing that you should consider is that your pages must include certain information or your ads will be rejected. This is by far the most common issue I see with early stage advertisers who wait a day to have their ads approved and then find out they've been rejected because their landing pages aren't set up correctly. The information you'll need on the page includes your company name, company registration number, a privacy policy, a return policy, and a delivery policy. If you do not do this, your ads will be rejected, so make sure this is in place first. Now that the pixel is installed and sending data to TikTok, we can set up your campaign. Go back to your TikTok ads dashboard, click on Campaign, and then click on Create. You're now going to be brought to a screen where you can choose your objective. Objectives are critical in telling TikTok what you're looking to get out of your ad campaign. For most circumstances, including e-commerce store, you're going to want to select conversions. Once you've selected your objective, we now move into audience and targeting. First, you're going to want to select your pixel. and then change the event to be complete purchase. This is telling TikTok that you want as many people as possible to purchase from your store. Next, you want to click Select Placements and make sure that only TikTok is selected. When we scroll down to targeting, you now have the option of selecting your audience. There are 3 broad categories of audience: retargeting, core, and lookalike. The first type of audience is your core audience. This is the audience that you set up in the Ads Manager based on demographic, interests, or interactions on TikTok. The next type is retargeting. Retargeting audiences are people who have already completed actions on your website, like browsing, adding to cart, or potentially even purchasing. A lookalike audience uses the TikTok algorithm to identify what the people that purchase from your store have in common, and then target ads to people similar to them. As you're just getting started with TikTok ads, it's unlikely you have sufficient data to use retargeting or lookalike audiences. So let's get started with a core audience. First, you can select your location. Now, as I said earlier, not every location is going to be available to everyone. So if you want to target a location that you can't find, contact an agency that has an account manager at TikTok, and they're going to be able to help you. Select gender, age, and location as appropriate for you. You can use interest-based targeting, but it's not necessary. The TikTok algorithm is very, very good at identifying who should be seeing your ads, although you may wish to add some light targeting on. There's no need, however, to go as specific as you would in Facebook. TikTok will be able to target your ads to the right people. Some of our most successful campaigns have had no audience targeting at all, and we've allowed the TikTok algorithm to identify the best potential customers. Now make sure that your audience size is within the safe zone. If this is too small, you may not be able to launch your ad. Next, we're going to move on to budget. Now, the minimum budget for TikTok ads is $20 a day. This may vary depending on your currency. Now, the higher your budget is, the quicker the ads are going to be able to optimize and deliver a better return on investment. If you don't have a huge budget, that's also okay. Start with whatever you're comfortable with. Even $20 a day is enough to get started. Now, the optimization goal is important. Make sure you select conversions to tell TikTok that that is what you're aiming to optimize for. You've got 2 options for selecting bid strategy. Lowest cost is the easiest because you're giving TikTok permission to adjust your bid for you. This requires very little monitoring or optimization, but it may spend more of your ad budget while you're optimizing. You can also select cost cap. This is very similar to a manual bid. This is going to require far more optimization and tweaking based on the results of your ads. But if you're an experienced ad manager or care specifically about cost, this is the option I recommend. TikTok will provide a recommendation for you. Sometimes it can vary all the way from $1 to $100 per conversion, depending on the settings that you've put in. In my experience, I find that for most e-commerce stores, $15 is a good figure here, but depending on your average order value and the niche that you're selling in, this number may be higher or lower. Now we move into your creative options and set up your ads. You have a number of options for TikTok ads, but I highly recommend using 9:16 ratio vertical videos. This is the format you're going to see on TikTok, and it's going to make your ads fit in the best with organic content. Your ads can be anywhere from 5 seconds to 60 seconds, although I strongly recommend 9 to 15 seconds. This allows you to give the information you need, engage the audience without the ad being too long. Now you may be asking, what type of ads work best? Well, it's a difficult question, but here are some suggestions. As a general rule of thumb, fast-paced, authentic content like you'll find on TikTok is what usually works best. Every technique that you see about making successful TikToks on the platform organically are also going to apply to the creative that you see in ads. You should include a hook in the first few seconds of your video to make sure that viewers watch the ad all the way through. One important thing that you shouldn't do is overcomplicate with text. TikTok is a very visually rich platform, so don't overlay with lots of information. One phrase that TikTok uses that I really like is don't make ads, make TikToks. And that should be the mantra that you're using. Personally, with the work that we do at the agency, we love to use user-generated content or influencer content as our ads. This is ultra-authentic and made by people that know the platform best. There are, however, ways that you can make an ad from scratch. Options include sending out your products for free to influencers in exchange for a video that can be used in ads. This is a great way to build high-quality and varied content. Alternatively, you can hire someone to create the ad for you. There's a number of people that you can find on Fiverr and Upwork who can create TikTok ads for a very low cost. If you want to create your own ads, you can do that. TikTok has a built-in ad creator, which is actually quite high quality. Otherwise, you could use speed editing tools like Premiere Rush and create content for social media and ads very, very easily. There's a huge library of templates. I think it's a great resource for every social media manager. Alternatively, you could use professional editing tools like Premiere Pro to create an ad from scratch. If you're a print-on-demand store, you may be wondering how you can produce video ads. And this is one of the reasons why I think so many of those stores stick to Facebook ads or other ad platforms where they can use static images. Now that gives you a huge opportunity, and what you can do is use video mockup generators. Now this is exactly like any other mockup generator, probably like the ones that you're using on your website to produce photos, but these will produce small snippets, usually about 5 seconds of video footage. Now what we can do is take this, stitch this together and turn it into an ad. You're going to have substantially less creative freedom than if you were shooting an ad yourself, but you'll be able to stitch these together into something that looks fairly good and engaging. And actually, here is an example of Finesseware, a print-on-demand clothing store that did exactly that. As we move on, you're going to need to input a display name. I highly recommend using your company name. This can have a space in it, but it's going to appear as if it was a username on the platform. I highly recommend shortening it into a single word so it looks like a username, or if you have a username on TikTok, use that instead. Ad text appears at the bottom of the ad. On TikTok, this is going to be your caption. It should be short and bold. If you're selling clownfish necklaces, it could be something like clownfish necklaces, free worldwide shipping. And let's capitalize free to make it clearer, and perhaps add a clownfish emoji at the start to make it feel more authentic. One thing to bear in mind is that you cannot use hashtags in this section without prior permission from the TikTok team. The reason for this is that using hashtags in ads is actually an entirely different TikTok ad product. It's called sponsored hashtags and allow brands to run their own challenges and campaigns on the platform. Now select your call to action. There's plenty of options. Shop now is great for most e-commerce stores, although if you're selling a higher ticket product that has a longer sales cycle, then learn more may be a more appropriate choice. Then upload your profile photo. This is a standard square file that gets cropped to a circle like on any other social media platform. A logo usually works best here. TikTok is all about the creative, and the only way to find out what works is to try as many different ad types and variants as you can. Try some user-generated content, try a cinematic product video, try a dance video. You need all of these different types of content to see what resonates best with your audience. Now click submit, your ad will go into review. You can check back later to see if it's been approved. Well done, we've successfully launched our first campaign on TikTok. At the start of the video, I promised you a bonus section. Well, I'm going to give you two. It's going to be retargeting and lookalike audiences. Let's get started with retargeting. Retargeting allows you to send ads to people who have already interacted with your website. The most common form is going to be sending ads to people who have added items to their cart but have not yet checked out. It's a great way to increase your return on ad spend and increase the conversion rate on your website. We can send them special discount codes or even just encourage them to return and complete their purchase. We're going to do this by creating a custom audience. Go to your TikTok ads dashboard, hover over Assets and then click Audience. You want to create a custom audience and then click Website Traffic. We want to include people who have added an item to their cart in the past 30 days but have not yet checked out. I find 30 days to work best for this. Now just name the audience and hit confirm. We've now created the audience we're going to target with our ads. Now, all you have to do is go back to your ad group settings, and instead of selecting age, location, and interests, we can instead just include the audience that we created. I recommend that you use different ads for people who have added items to their cart, perhaps by giving them an exclusive discount code within the ad. The second bonus section is lookalike audiences. You might ask, what do lookalike audiences do? They take the guesswork out of building audiences. What you do is feed TikTok a list of your customers as they check out. TikTok will find what they have in common and then target ads to people that are most likely to convert. Personally, I would only use lookalike audiences if you've had the pixel installed from somewhere between 1 to 3 months, depending on the size of your store. To do this, create a new custom audience, just like in the retargeting section, but this time select people who have purchased. Your settings should look like this. Then create another new audience, but this time select Lookalike Audience. And we're going to set the source for this audience to the new audience of customers that we created. Now make sure that Omit is selected. This will make sure that we don't target ads to your existing customers. Remember to select TikTok as the placement. Now we select the audience size. A narrow audience is going to give you a smaller list of people, but they're going to be a closer match to people that have already checked out. If you don't have a very high ad budget, or you have a large range of customers that have already purchased, this is going to be your best bet. For other businesses, balanced will probably make the most sense. Once you've made this audience, you can go back into the ad manager and include this new lookalike audience in the targeting option. And that's it. If you have any questions or if there's anything I've missed, leave a comment down below and I'll answer them. If you want everything I've explained implemented into your business for you and 100 times more, my agency Padfield Media helps high-growth e-commerce stores scale with Snapchat and TikTok media buying. If so, take a look in the description. I'm going to leave the contact details there. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to subscribe, follow me on Instagram, and check out these recommended videos.